Hey there, Rudy. Thanks again for playing today. It was very enjoyable and you played well. And as you can see here, we actually, you may not be able to see it, but the bridge mate said we finished at like 54% or something, but somehow we went up to 61. I checked the scores and they were all right. So I think maybe there was something wrong at the club or something. So we came second, and my friends Colin and Ben came first, east-west. They haven't played in a lot of years. So I used to play as juniors in our 20s with Colin and Ben a lot, and both of them are up around my age, around 50, and they're returning to the game. Very good players, and so it's nice to see them back. So I've got a few deals to go through, but I also want to, let me just pull it up here, see if you should be able to see. Perfect, that's better. I do want to say that's probably my last in-person game for the summer until September. I'm going away next week, of course, the World Championships on Friday. And I'm going to play once with Aiden because we haven't had a chance to play together yet. And we're going to play online. And the way we're going to do it is we are going to just play against the robots. And so that's nice because they go very quickly. They don't take time to decide on their bids or plays. So you can get a lot of deals in. And we're going to either talk on the phone or more likely like a Zoom chat or Google Meets, or even on BBO they have sound and video, so we can talk during the deals and discuss things. I did this earlier this week with someone who won a game with me in a charity auction, and rather than do the BBO speedball game, they wanted a lesson instead where we just played against the robots and talked about the hands as they were going on, and it worked quite well. So when we're defending, we'll sort of stay quiet. We can't say, oh, I have this, I don't have that. But when we're declaring, both of us will see both of the hands, so we can discuss declaring and sort of declare it together and talk about our thought processes and learn that way. It's not a real competition. We're just practicing against robots. So there's no harm there. I'm going to record that session, or I'll try to record that session and then post it. It'll probably be around 45 minutes to an hour. So it may be a little bit boring or a little bit slow at times. You can just skip ahead, or maybe I'll try to highlight a few key deals. So let's get to today's game. You played very well and quite happy. You did a lot of good things, like especially as declarer, and just a couple tiny little things. Hopefully we can go over. So I'm going to move this over. Hopefully you can see board one. Now this was, I guess, my fault in that I should have kind of recognized or given you an option, because what happened was you opened a club with, you were east and I was west. So you opened a club with a very good hand. You have 17 high card points, but your hand is stronger than just 17 points because you have aces and a singleton and a source of tricks. So if you look at your hand, you have like 8 tricks in your hand. So if I have the ace of spades and nothing else, you're probably going to make 3-no trump. So your hand is pretty powerful. You bid 1 club and I bid 1 spade. Quite simple. Now here's things went bad because they got in our way. She bid 2 diamonds. And now it's your turn. You're too strong for 3 clubs and you can't support spades. You may take a chance and bid 3-no trump, but that could be a silly contract. So I actually kind of like your choice. You bid 3 diamonds, and I should have read that as I have a strong hand, partner, but I don't have a clear direction, and I probably don't have spades, and I didn't make a support double, so I don't have 3 spades with you. I like that option. I would have bid 3 spades or jumped to 4 spades over that, and we probably would have played in 4 spades. I just assumed you had spades, which was not a good assumption by me, and I bid Blackwood. If you happened to answer Blackwood today, I would have put us in 6 spades, and you would have had to pass, which would not have been easy with a singleton, and we would have made 6 spades. But as it was, we were in 6-no trump. And even though I'm in a hopeless contract in 6-no trump, I have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 winners only. I still didn't give up. I still played to try to at least salvage something. And I'm not sure if you noticed or not, but I basically played to end play north. So what I did was, she led the king of diamonds, of course. So I know she's got diamonds to cash as soon as she gets the lead. So I won the ace of diamonds. I played 2 rounds of spades. So first of all, just in case there's a queen jack doubleton out there somewhere, I'm going to make 6-no trump. But by playing 2 rounds of spades, notice north will have no more spades left. Then I ran my clubs, and I just watched her discards. And if she came down to 2 diamonds and 1 heart, I was going to drop her king of hearts. If she came down to 1 diamond and 2 hearts, I just played a diamond, which is what happened. I played a little diamond. She was forced to win the queen. That's all she had left. And she was forced to lead away from her king of hearts. So I scored my queen ace at the end. And so that was down 1. So we did save 1 match point for 7% for going down 1 instead of down 2. Obviously, we lost 93% in the bidding. So next deal, number 3. This one here, again, this is sort of a similar type of thing. And we talked about this yesterday, I believe, when Nina asked about match points and safety plays and trying to make your contract, that sort of stuff. Assess the contract at trick 1. So looking at this, we got to 1 no trump. So South opened a club. I passed. North bid 1 heart. Notice North has 5 good diamonds and only 4 little hearts, but she only has a 1 bid hand, meaning she has less than invitation. So she's only going to make 1 bid with her hand. So you got to show the major, which is what she did. She bid 1 heart. Now, if her partner had rebid 1 no trump, maybe she might decide to transfer into 2 diamonds and play there, but she doesn't have enough to bid diamonds first, because then later when she bids hearts, that's going to be forcing. So she bid 1 heart. You made a takeout double. You're a little bit light for that, especially with most of your points in their suits. So I'm okay if you pass, but double isn't the end of the world. We're vulnerable. This hand bid 1 spade, fine, and I bid 1 no trump. I had 10 high card points, stopper in clubs, stopper in hearts, and I know you've got spades and diamonds. So I played in 1 no trump vulnerable, and they led a diamond to the king. So right away, I'm off the whole diamond suit. I have 4 hearts and a club, so that's 5 tricks. My goal on this hand, we're vulnerable. My goal on this hand is to take a 6th trick. So we're 1 down, because I think they can maybe make 1 no trump themselves or 2 diamonds themselves. So I don't want to go minus 200. Minus 100 is going to be fine. So what I plan to do is similar to that first deal we saw. Get South in a position where I'm going to get her to lead away from either her ace of spades or her king of clubs. So they took 5 diamond tricks, and I watched her pitches. She pitched hearts and hearts and a club. I pitched a club and a spade, and then I had choose another card. I pitched another club, and then she ended up playing a spade. So that was easy for me. I stuck in the 10. She won the jack, and she was down to nothing but clubs and spades. So she had nothing to do but to cash the ace of spades. Their winning defense was to play a club. I would have won and cashed 4 hearts, and after I cashed 4 hearts, she's got to guess what to keep. And if she keeps wrong and is down to just 1 club, I'm going to throw her in with a club to score my king of spades. And when you're at the club against poor players, as you get more experience, you'll know what they have. Like, the hand is going to count out very quickly. I know she has 2 diamonds and 2 hearts, and from the bidding, I know she has 4 spades and 5 clubs. Like, it's obvious. So it's easy to know what she's going to keep, and she's probably going to keep the wrong thing. So that was board 3. I escaped for minus 100, and that was 93%. So that's a great score because they can make 1 no trump or 2 no trump themselves. 5, 6, 7, 8 tricks off the top, basically. So next deal, number 4. This one was very interesting. And we actually didn't get such a great score. We got 32%. We lost most of it in the bidding, but gained it back in the play. And you had a tough bid. So I opened 1 no trump, 15, 4 triple 3. Not the best no trump. You transferred, of course. You're 5-5. Now your hand is the type of hand where if you find a fit, it's a very good hand, right? If you find a club fit or a spade fit, you're probably going to want to play in game. On a really good day, you may actually have a slam. Like if I have ace, queen, 5th of clubs, and the ace of diamonds and the ace of hearts and a doubleton spade, like 7 clubs is on a finesse, right? It sort of shows the power of shape when you're opposite a no trump opener. So you transferred with 2 hearts, and the next hand said double. That's actually good for your hand because that means that there's probably less high cards in my hand in hearts. Not always, but usually when people double transfers, they have a really good suit to do so because it's just lead directing. I bid 2 spades. Now, by me completing the transfer over double, I'm showing 3 or more spades. If I only had a doubleton spade, I would pass the double. I would pass 2 hearts doubled, and then you would be able to, bid 2 spades or bid 3 no or something like that. I would be saying I have a doubleton. So completing the transfer in this situation should show 3 trumps. You decide to bid 2 no. That's okay. Some people, once they've heard of a fit, might get a little more aggressive and bid 3 clubs game forcing. But 2 no is also okay. It's a little scary with only a singleton heart once they've doubled. But, I'm going to put you back in spades anyway. I have 3 of them. So this hand then bid 3 diamonds. So I know she's got a lot of shape. She's doubled hearts and then bid diamonds, vulnerable at the 3 level between 2 bidders. I bid 3 spades just to take any pressure off of you because we do have a fit. And now you bid 4 spades. And I don't mind that. I mean, it sort of sounds on one of these hands where you've sort of bidding your hand a couple times, but it's fine. Now, the one thing you've got to be a little bit cautious of is because your left-hand opponent has shown hearts and diamonds vulnerable at the 3 level. She's got a lot of them. You got to be a little bit careful that trumps may not be breaking. And also any club cards or club finesses probably going to be offside. So today trumps didn't break. They were 5-0, but I ended up getting, playing it well. So we got to 4 spades. They didn't double, mercifully, and they let a diamond to the ace and returned a diamond. I played a spade to the ace. I wasn't going to stick in the 10 right away, even though I figured, they were probably breaking bad. So spade to the ace, this hand showed out. I played a little spade to the 9, just knock out their queen so I could later finesse against the jack. And what happened was they returned another diamond, and eventually I was able to play a club. I was able to finesse spades, 7, 8, 10, play a club up, and this hand won the ace, returned a club, I won the king, I cashed all my tricks. At the end, the dummy had the king 4 of spades and a losing club, and this hand had the jack, jack 6 of spades and a winning club. So when I played a little heart for my hand, it was kind of a cool ending. She had 2 trumps to the jack, jack 6, and dummy had king 3 of trumps. So if she roughs, I just throw away my losing club, and then dummy's king little of spades take the last 2 tricks. If she throws her winning club away, I just rough and get the king of spades. So I'm always going to score 2 tricks at the end. En passant is what that's called. So we got out for minus 100, which wasn't terrible. 32%, that salvaged the board. So 14. This deal. Hold on, my kids are yelling at me. Hold on. Sorry for that little delay, but we're back here. And this deal, I want to talk about 14. With your hand, Rudy, you're 4-4 in the majors and you have a terrible hand. If I open 1 no trump, I don't mind if you bid Stamen with this hand. 2 clubs. Especially not vulnerable, because what's going to happen is if I bid 2 diamonds, you could bid 2 hearts, and that just says, I have a weak hand with the majors, pick one, and we're going to play in 2 of a major. If I happen to bid 2 of a major, over Stamen, you've hit the jackpot, because your hand is useless in 1 no trump, because you have no tricks, you have no high cards. I'm going to be playing the deal out of my own hand. It's not going to be pretty. I'm going to probably go down 2, maybe even 3. So bidding Stamen with this hand, 4-4 in the majors, really, really weak. I don't mind at all. You're just taking a bit of a gamble that you're going to catch a major. In a bad day, partners 2-2 in the majors, and it's just a disaster. And there's, what can you do? But some days partner could even have a 5-card major, and your hand is going to do much better in a major if you have a 4-4 or 5-4 fit than it's going to do in 1 no trump. So if I had opened 1 no trump, I don't mind Stamen at all. What happened was South opened 1 diamond. This is probably my fault. I overcalled 1 no trump. I should just make a takeout double. I have 17 So, and I have support for all the other suits. I should make a takeout double rather than bid one no trump. But I liked my kings. I wanted to get to no trump first. I wanted to play it from my side in case we did have a major suit fit. So the next hand bid 2 clubs, and you said double, which is Stayman. So in this particular situation, it's a little bit different than if I just opened 1 no trump and you bid Stayman, because by you doubling 2 clubs, Stayman, 2 things that are bad could happen. Like, of course, I could answer a major and you're happy, you're thrilled. But a couple bad things could happen. The first is that I might pass 2 clubs doubled if I have decent clubs, and they might make a lot of tricks. The other bad thing that could happen is the opponents may compete, for example, to 3 clubs, and now I'm going to bid at the 3 level, and that might be just too high for us. That's actually what happened. I bid 2 hearts, it went pass. The opponents bid 3 diamonds, it went pass, and I bid 3 hearts over 3 diamonds, and they doubled me. So luckily I got out for down 1. I sort of had to, it became pretty clear that trumps were 4-1, and I needed South, the opening bidder, to have a singleton, ace, queen, or jack. Once I discovered they had the ace, queen of diamonds, the king of clubs, and the ace of spades, I knew they didn't have the singleton ace of hearts. That wouldn't leave North with enough. So I ended up being able to squash his jack, and your heart spots were good enough to hold it to down 1, which wasn't a bad board. I mean, you notice that's actually the par result. So for 14, we scored 60% for down 1. But it could have been down 2, and that would be a disaster, of course. Board 17. So this was in our last round, and this goes back to something we saw yesterday with Nina. So against a suit contract, so if the opponents are playing in spades, hearts, diamonds, or clubs, if you are going to lead a suit with the ace, you should lead the ace. I don't want you guys leading low from the ace against a suit contract. Against no trump, it's different. You're trying to establish your suit. Against a suit contract, though, if you lead low from the ace, the opponents may have a singleton and they may have the king, and you're not going to get a trick in that suit. Or your partner may have the king and the jack, and they're going to put in the jack because they know you can't have the ace. And so that you may let declare score a trick with the queen that they're not entitled to. So here, you had made a takeout double. I bid hearts. They competed in clubs. You bid hearts again at the 3 level, probably a little bit much. Remember, so the auction actually was a diamond, double, 1 spade, 2 hearts by me, 3 clubs. At this point, you have a very minimum takeout double. You have nothing extra. You don't have any extra hearts. You have a doubleton diamond. You have king third in his second suit. I would prefer if you just pass. And if you think the opponents are at a 9-card club fit and you want to compete to 3 hearts, again, you have a partner. I'm still going to get to bid. So if it goes 3 clubs pass to me and I have shortness in clubs, or if they bid 3 diamonds and I have shortness in diamonds, I will get us to the 3 level, right? So it's all about, when you're competing, it's all about partnership cooperation. You just have a bare minimum, no extra shape, doubleton diamond. If you had a singleton diamond, that's different. But doubleton diamond, just pass. And if it's right to compete to 3 hearts, I will do so with my hand. Okay, so you did lead a heart against 4 diamonds, but you led the jack of hearts. I would prefer you to lead the ace of hearts, right? If I had king with no queen and you led the jack, I'm not going to put up the king. I'm just going to play low and declare is going to win the queen, which they're not entitled to. Okay, so just keep in mind, against suit contracts, don't underlead aces. Okay, if you have to lead that suit, lead the ace. 20 and then 18. This deal here, this was one of our successes. We got, I'm just going to take a quick peek here. We got 93% for this one. You opened 1 diamond in 3rd chair. That's totally fine. 11 high card points. If you want to fool around a little bit and open 1 spade in 3rd seat, only because your spades are so good, I'm not going to fight that. You can do that if you like. But 1 diamond is kind of normal. This hand overcalled a heart. Close to a limit raise. I have 2 aces and a jack and a doubleton. But I didn't want to sort of bury you for opening in 3rd seed and force us to the 3 level. So I just said 2 diamonds, which is like 7 to 9 with diamond support. And this hand now came in with 3 clubs. She's a passed hand, remember. 3 clubs. You now bid 3 diamonds. So this is along the same principle. You have nothing extra. You've already shown an opening bid and you only have 11, so you don't even really have an opening bid, but it's fine. And you have a doubleton heart and you have queen 3rd of the suit they just introduced. And you only have 4 diamonds. So I would like you to pass 3 clubs. Remember, you have a partner. If I'm looking at a singleton club or a 5th diamond and I know it's right to compete to 3 diamonds, I will do that, right? So it's, again, a partnership thing. So with this minimum hand, no extra shape, no extra diamonds, you can just pass. So you bid 3 diamonds, and this hand, has a pretty good hand, but she should smell a misfit. If she has to bid, maybe she could bid 3 hearts. She bid 3 no trump, which is crazy. Her partner's a passed hand and showed clubs, so 3 no trump is just insane. I looked at that and I thought to myself, okay, I know 3 no trump is a ridiculous contract, but if we pass, can we beat it 2 tricks? If we only beat it 1 trick, that may not be good. So if I double and they run to like 4 clubs, am I happy with that? So eventually I decided that I didn't want to pass and just have this miraculously go down 1 trick. I wanted to make sure we got 200 or more. So I doubled and it went pass, 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 a little bit surprisingly. And we did beat it 1 trick. We just had to save our winners. We just had to counter tricks. So once she got lucky with the jack doubleton of hearts, but once you showed out and I showed out of hearts, you knew her hand, right? She'd already cashed the ace king of diamonds and she'd shown up with 5 heart tricks, so that's 7, and she played a spade to the jack and the ace, that's 8. I've got the ace of clubs because otherwise she's making it, and I have to have something for my double. So you just have to make sure to keep the right cards. Keep your high spades, high diamonds. You could even throw away all your clubs if you really wanted. But yeah, we got our 5 tricks in the end for 200 and of course a great score. And the last deal I'm going to discuss here was board 18 because it was so funny. And this is again a style thing that you can discuss with your partner. So I'm going to show you like just my hand. Okay, so you're going to read in books eventually where there's a very specific opening bid for a hand that's going to come up like once in your lifetime. And this hand was close. So if I had, for example, an extra spade and maybe the queen of diamonds as well, like queen jack 10 6 of spades, ace king queen 5th of diamonds, and the ace king of clubs, there's an opening bid of 5 of the major, 5 spades, that tells partner or asks partner, if you have the ace or king of trumps, please raise me to 6. If you have both of them, raise me to 7. And if you have neither, pass. Doesn't matter how many points you have. You could have 17 points. Please pass. So that's what a 5 spade opening would show. So this hand is actually pretty close. If I just needed better diamonds and maybe 1 more spade, and then I could open 5 spades. Of course, without discussion, I would never try that at the table, but I didn't have to because Rudy, being a young junior, decided with 6-5. He didn't care that he had a side 5 card major. Rudy opened 2 spades, and not vulnerable against vulnerable. I'm fine with that. If you want to open 3 spades, that's fine too. I don't mind at all. So he opened 2 spades, and now look at my problem. I want to bid Blackwood, but I want to have him not count the ace of hearts. So how do I do that? There's no real good way without any agreements. So I probably, I could have just bid 6 spades. Like if he has ace 6th or king 6th of spades, he's going to be a big favorite to make 6 spades. What I did instead was I tried to be a little bit creative, and sometimes in bidding you can sort of not go by the book, but be a little bit creative if you know that you're in control of the auction. Like when partner opens 2 spades, I become the captain, right? When your partner opens 1 no trump, you become the captain, right? They've defined their hand in a very narrow range. You can drive to the contract you think you can make. You can ask them some questions. Do you have a major? Blah, blah, blah. So when he opens 2 spades, I'm going to take control. And basically, he's not allowed to deviate from what I ask him. So I bid 2 no trump, and luckily today we play feature ask. So I'm asking him, partner, do you have a feature, an ace or king in your hand? And his response, luckily the opponent stayed silent, otherwise may have had some trouble, but his response was whatever, 3 clubs, I think. He denied the ace of hearts, right? So that's great for me. I don't want him to have the ace of hearts because now I can bid Blackwood. And I know that if he shows me 2 key cards, it's the ace king of spades and I can bid 7. So he showed whatever feature, I bid 4 no trump, he bid 1 key card, and we played in 6 spades, which is completely cold. There's nothing they can do. I noticed actually, Rudy, tiny little thing. You took you took your ace king right away before pulling 1 round of trump. I think if you count your tricks, right, you have basically 5 losing hearts in your hand. So you notice that you're going to be able to pitch 2 of them away because dummy has 4 tricks in aces and kings and you have 2 cards in those suits. And then so you're going to be left with just 3 hearts. You can ruff all 3 of them in the dummy, even if you play a spade and they win the ace and return the last spade. You're still going to be able to claim. So you took a tiny risk cashing your ace king before pulling a round of trumps. Because if they had gotten a ruff with the 6 of spades, however unlikely that was, then you were going to go down. So you could have just claimed, said I'm playing a spade, and even if they're 2-0 and they win and return a spade, you still have enough tricks. You have 4 tricks in the minors, 3 ruffs in the dummy is 7, and 5 trumps in your hand is 12. So that was our last deal. That was an enjoyable game, an enjoyable board. Thanks very much. I'm going to try to merge these 2 videos together. Hopefully I'm able to figure that out. But thanks again, everyone, and I'll try to post a video of practice with Aiden on Monday. Okay, take care.